Hello YouTube, and welcome to my quick start guide on Ascension World of Warcraft. Today, my aim is to bring you a better basic understanding of what the start of the game should look like for you, and to hopefully give you some kind of direction to move into. We start by rolling our starter 4 spells. This is pretty important, but also not exactly indicative of how it's going to be for long for you. So currently, you'll just roll these at random. You'll have almost no sway in what comes up here. You just click roll, whatever you get is what you get. You are able to click the locks right here to lock in. So if I want a Storm Strike, I can click that, and then when I re-roll, it'll stay here. And then you can go through until you get them. Like I said, this will just be how it is for you, your first character. Um, when you prestige for the first time, and I'll get into prestiging later. When you prestige, you'll get skill cards. You'll get all the starter skill cards right here. So what I did was press N, go to the skill card tab right here, and then just filtered by starter skill cards. Sometimes when you click it, like say I clicked collected only, and it's still only showing these. So if you go and check off the other one, so check this one off, and then bam, now I'm at the starter ones. So what this does is, say I wanted Crusader Strike on my level 1 abilities. So I click this, I activate it, and then see how it shows up like this. And if I hit reroll, see this check that comes up, and now it forced it to come up in here. And then you can click like that. You can take this off. Now let's say I want Fireball or Fire Blast. You can do the same. You can do um, 2 at a time, all 4 at a time, whatever works for you. And just hit roll. See that's used up. Bam, it showed up right there. So important to note, all of these are level 1 abilities. If you how I slotted it in and that check showed up, it forced it to roll here. If I didn't pick it here because I wanted to get this card later, not at level 1, it is used up right now. So if you want to have this one show up later, what you need to do is you need to pick these abilities. So let me hit reroll. So say these are the abilities I want, right? So you hit keep abilities. Let's just for right now. And then you would go and you'd slot in this. And now see it. So I already picked my abilities. This hasn't shown up. So now it'll show up at the earliest convenience. If you have multiple, so if I picked that and Handstrain, these both say 10 plus, 10 plus. Um, this card, one of these cards will pick at level 10 and will show up. The other card will show up at the next earliest chance. So you pick spells every even level starting at 10. So 10, 12, 14, 16, and so on. So one of these will show up at 10, the next one will show up at 12. Talent cards are much in the same way. They'll show up, but they show up every level. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so on. Um, so now that we've gotten some kind of core spells that we wanted to level, um, and mind you, for your level 1 spells, I suggest sticking with like one class. So I would do, if you want to be melee, I would pick like rogue spells. For melee specifically, you can actually go like a rogue warrior. Melee is one of the few that I suggest you can actually kind of mix and match early game. Um, Whereas for casters, like let's say Elemental Shaman, right? I would literally just pick Lightning Bolt, maybe Earth Shock, Tether Elemental can be cool, and maybe a heal if you can. And then just you can just ride using Lightning Bolt all the way to max level. Um, so speaking of max level, your main goal at level 1 is on your first character is to just get to max level. Um, when you hit max level, there will be a NPC named Silas. He can be found in various locations. He's typically found in capital cities. You can actually find him right here in the starter zones as well. I think they recently put him in here as well. But he will offer you. So you right click on him, and then you go right here. So while you're still leveling, you'll get these free ones. So it doesn't show up for me right now. But once you hit max level, he'll have a thing that you can proclaim here for a currency called Marks of Ascension that you'll get these scrolls of fortune. The scrolls of fortune we're not super worried about right this second. I'll briefly explain what they do. They just let you reroll spells and talents. So the scroll of fortune that we're looking at right here is for both abilities and talents. I suggest only using them on abilities. And then this one right here, scroll of fortune talents, is for talents only. Um, and keep in mind, just a side note, the Roman numeral at the end of Scroll of Fortune, see it says Scroll of Fortune I, is for Spec 1. Scroll of Fortune I would be for Spec 2. They only work for they correspond to the spec that the Roman numeral is for. So don't be going and buying Spec 2s when you don't have Spec 2s. You won't be able to use them. So as I was saying, when you buy at max level, when you trade in the Marks of Ascension to him, you'll get skill card packs and talent card packs. You will open these and you'll get randomized skill cards. These skill cards, as you can see here in this UI, are various abilities and talents. And this is really where your progression comes in. This is what you're most worried about at the start of the game, is getting a good collection of these, as these will let you target builds that you want to roll. So let's say you want to be a bear. You want to be a bear tank. There's this corrupted bear form right here. As you can see, corrupted bear form causing your melee attack to deal additional high threat shadow damage. That's just added threat and damage on everything you do. So if you didn't have this card, you would just hope you see it. And the chances of you seeing certainly talents, I forget the exact number. I think there's something like 1,000 talents in the game. So the chances of you getting the ones you want is relatively low, even with a lot of rerolls. Um, and then for talents as well, or for skills as well, um, let me find an example here. You're playing a build that needs Flame Tongue Weapon. Flame Tongue Weapon's actually pretty good for a lot of melees, even if you're not a caster. It does pretty good damage. You could slot this in, and as soon as I hit level 10, I'll see that ability. I don't even have to worry about it. I'll just automatically have it, and then from level 10 on, I can use it. It's just added security. It just forces the spells to roll. That's really what you're looking forward to with your marks of ascension when you prestige. Prestiging early, like your first, like I'd say 2 or 3 prestiges is kind of when it starts capping out. You start not getting as many marks of ascension per prestige as is worth it. So use whatever skill cards you manage to get to target a certain build. So like if you keep getting warrior, let's see, like whirlwind. So if you get that, so you can get that at level 14, I'd slot that in. Um, what's another one? Bloodthirst. That's what it's called. Um, you can slot that one in. So now I'll have these 2 spells when I hit 14 and 40. So that'll ensure that my warrior like build is showing up, right? So I can target that, and I'll do a little better rather than just getting random skills. Um, while I'm here, by the way, so these 2 are regular skill cards. These 3 are regular talent cards. These are golden, and these are golden. So golden and regular functionally do the same thing. You just get them in different ways. So you get these, like I mentioned earlier, from Silas, just from the card packs. You get these also from Silas, but you have to spend gold. Um, I would not worry about the gold ones yet. If you have nothing, I would worry about bags, mount, um, and then depending on you, I would buy the vanity stuff. I'll go over vanity stuff later, but I wouldn't bother with my gold just yet, because the more of the normal cards you get, when you get duplicates, it'll be added to this progress bar, and then when it fills up, you'll get free golden card packs. So you can slowly acquire some there, and hopefully you get lucky and get cards that you can actually use. If not, no worries. You just have a smaller guaranteed pool of abilities to work from. That will only affect you when you get towards the end game. Right now, we're just looking for what kind of core can we roll at level 1, and what kind of abilities can we guarantee through cards, and what kind of talents can we guarantee through cards. Um, a good example of kind of what you're looking for. So I always say you need some kind of synergy. So what I mean by synergy is, let me find a good example. Um, explosive eruption. No, no. Holy Ascension. Let's use this one. So this is kind of a holy priest caster mixed with holy paladin. So as you can see, when you cast Holy Fire, you'll get this buff, and it buffs your other 2 abilities. So it synergizes in that you use one spell, these other spells do something extra. So there's a lot of abilities in the game that synergize with talents, and that's what you're really looking forward to push you to more in-game content. Um, so it's just very important that you want to be looking for these. You can't really target get these, but keep an eye out for one for if you get any of these. This is what I mean by you kind of want to build you want to go for whatever you get. Keep in mind you don't have to go for what you get, but if you get something that you can make sense of and you can use, I would target that instead of like so say if you were playing a frost mage, but you get elemental shaman talents and stuff. I would maybe consider swapping from frost mage to elemental shaman just so you can have that extra layer of ability synergy that would hopefully give you more damage and help you get through whatever content you're doing easier. So I think that's about everything I can think of. There's definitely a lot more little things that you might have questions about, and I could go over. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to make more videos explaining more stuff. I just don't want to make these videos too long. Um, let's see. I can't think of if there's anything else important I could go over. Skill cards, you get them. Yeah, I'm thinking that's about it. I would pick personally. I like doing caster at the start. Caster seems a little bit easier to start than melee, but if you absolutely like melee, you could go for melee. Up here is your primary stats. You kind of pick those and you can swap them on the fly. Oh, keep in mind that everything in the game has both AP and SP scaling, so you can actually be a strength-based caster. So you could use like Frostbolt with strength gear, and it'll actually, excuse me, it'll actually do increased damage. Just keep in mind your mana pool will be very low and you'll go out of mana really fast. Um, yeah, that's about everything I can think of. All right, I appreciate you giving me a watch. If you would like, you can leave a like on the video, leave a comment on any questions you have, and I'll address them in future videos. I appreciate you stopping in, watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.